Hey, what's going on, guys? Redbeard here. Thought I would do a little quick video on making red jalapeno jelly. If you grow any significant amount of jalapenos, you'll get to eat your fill of green ones throughout the summer. And if you're patient enough to let some stay on the vine, they'll turn this beautiful red. You can do a few things with them at this point. They're delicious just to use them as any pepper as you would. Make hot sauce. Smoke them is really great. Make a chipotle pepper, which is beautiful. I just ground up some of my dried chipotles from the past. They're great to make stuffed and breaded jalapeno poppers. Really nice when they're red. A little bit more unique flavor on the heat. But I had a surplus, a little bit of a bumper crop. Ate all I wanted through the summer months, and I had a big amount of reds because we had a really mild fall. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try my first time making spicy red jalapeno jelly. So stay tuned. I'm going to put this together. Basically what I'm going to do is take all the jalapenos, take the tops off, and cut them down the middle. And then I'm going to decide by doing taste testing how hot these are and how much seed and membrane that I want into this jelly. How hot do I want this jelly to be? If I just throw it all in there, and these here are nuclear, then this jelly is going to be so hot it's not going to be enjoyable. If these peppers are pretty mild, I'm going to want lots of that membrane and seed. So I have to just decide how much heat they have and how much of the seed and membrane that I want to put in there for the heat. Anyway, so stay tuned. We'll move on to the next step. Now, whether you're a lady or a gentleman, if you're doing it bare hand like I am, you're going to want to be very careful to wash your hands extremely well. Like, when I say extremely well, I mean like wash them so much like you got like AIDS blood on them. Like, that's how serious you need to wash them. I know, the AIDS blood, that's extreme. But it's serious. Is dish soap and scrub them hard before you do anything related to touching your parts. Or scratching or picking your nose. Or wiping your sweaty brow if it's hot. Because it sucks. I've done it all. Years as a chef, I have burnt lots of parts of my body with jalapeno and other hot pepper oils that were on my hands. So I learned the hard way that when I'm done working with these jalapenos, I'm going to scrub the shit out of my hands with some good quality dish soap. You know, Palmolive, Dawn, Sunlight, something that is meant for fighting grease and oils is good. It's like poison ivy. Poison ivy is only bad for your body if you leave the oil on your skin. If you know you've touched poison ivy, you go home, you scrub down with some dish soap, you'll probably be alright. And I mean scrub hard. You do need to be careful with jalapenos. It sucks. I'm working with them right now in November. But when you're working with them in the summertime, and it's hot and it's sweaty, and you forget that you're working with jalapenos and you just go to wipe your brow, maybe you accidentally brush the top of your eyelid. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. It sucks. Alright, so I have seeded most of those. I'm going to save some. Keep the seeds in for some extra heat. Ooh, actually got a little cut on my hand. I can feel some jalapeno juice in there. So anyways, I'll buzz these up. We'll watch that happen. And then we'll go to the next step. So what I've done is I've nibbled a bit of the flesh. Okay, that's the red part or the green part, depending on what color pepper you're using. Okay, and determine how much heat the flesh has. Sometimes a jalapeno or other peppers will have an enormous amount of heat in the flesh alone, but generally it's in the membranes and the seeds. So using a different specimen, that had a moderate amount of heat. Let's say probably 3 out of 10. This time I'll bite from this end, not the just flesh end. I'll bite from the membrane end, take a nice sized bite, and see what I think of the heat of that. With ripe jalapenos, the heat can take some time to kick in, and it does. And there it is. Yeah. It's a decent heat. Lip warming, tongue tingling. Not much more than that. I'd say maybe a 5 out of 10. Very nice flavor though. Really rich jalapeno red pepper flavor. And a nice heat. So I'm going to go ahead and probably use at least 80% of the full pepper, and maybe I'll scrape out the last 20% of membrane, just to tone it down a little. So yeah, that's what I'll do now. And we'll pulse. See how it goes. Oh, the fumes coming out of there are spicy. There we go. The old exhaust on. Whew. That's coming out hot. All right, at this point, I'm going to take this, just scrape down the sides a bit. We're getting a nice size piece. Little chippets sort of thing, little chips. A little smaller would be just perfect before we do the cook down. So we'll just pulse a few more times. Yeah, that's looking good. Almost relish. Whew, spicy. That is burning my eyes. Relish kind of consistency with seeds kind of floating around, and now we'll do some cooking. All right. So for the next step, what I'm going to do is get some apple cider vinegar. Try to open that one-handed. And I want to measure off about 2.5 cups. It's really kind of a guess situation. We'll see what's in here. So yeah, it's just over 2 cups, so we'll use it. There we go. We're gonna put that into the hot pan. Bring that up to heat with all the jalapenos. They're going in there with 6 cups of sugar. Yeah, that's a lot. I know. But that's how you make jelly. Anyways, let's get that measured off and put that in the pot. All right. Two. All right, so we got the vinegar, the sugar, 6 cups. It's an insane amount of sugar, it seems. But these jalapenos, and make sure the leaves out. Get them in there. I'll get a scraper and get those all out. We're gonna bring that up to a boil, and then take it down a little lower to a, in between a boil and a simmer. I want to cook that down for about 10 minutes. That'll soften up the pepper and bring out a lot of that nice heat and flavor and oils, and reduce some of that vinegar, and take that sharp acidity off the vinegar. Let it round out with the sugar, and I added a little bit of garlic, fresh garlic. So for the last step here, guys, what I'm going to do is add my fruit pectin. That's what's going to turn it into a jelly. If I just kind of cook this down and put it in the fridge, it's going to be sort of a syrup, or just a sweet liquidy hot pepper juice, which would be fine. You could use it as a sauce or a condiment. But if you want a jelly, something you can spread on a cracker, or put on a use as decorative, or just have that nice gelatinous texture, we use some pectin, just like we're going to make some jam. So I'm going to add this into the mixture, stir it all around, and that's what it's all about. So after adding the pectin, I'm going to bring that temperature up to a full heat, and I'm going to rapidly boil that for about 1 minute, stirring in the pectin, and then we'll shut it down. So again, full boil, full heat, stirring constantly. Get that pectin all dissolved in, the dextrose, everything else, and then we'll move on to the next step. I'm just about to portion out this into a couple of containers. I got a couple of 250 milliliter mason jars and this other just random jar. And the taste is really good. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. Oh, not that. There we go. Let's bring the salt over here. This is just kosher, crystallized kosher salt. A couple more pinches of that. The sweetness is perfect. The acidity is great. The heat is quite good. That should just finish it off nice. And then let's scoop measuring cup here and pour it right in. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have a little more than I think I am here. Perfect. It's good because I feel like there's gonna be lots of people who want some of this. Okay, so I'm not doing a proper whole systematic canning process here, but if you wanted to do that, you could get the boiling pots, sterilize everything, get everything hot, put the things in the pot, boil them, get a seal. This is jalapenos, jam, sugar, and vinegar. 3 things that really don't go bad. So I'm not too concerned on it. I keep it in the fridge. I'll give it to somebody. I say, hey, keep this in the fridge. I'm not trying to store it for years, but something like this, you'll know it's bad. It might have a bit of mold grow on it when it gets bad, but not much is living in jalapeno, vinegar, and sugar. So anyways, I'll top these guys up, fill them up, and we'll chill them. We'll have this beautiful jelly at the end. Turned out real nice. Here we are with the final product. It's very nice. I got, well, 250 milliliter jars, and looks like one, I'd say 400 to 500 milliliter jar, as well as a small 100 milliliter jar to give to a coworker of mine, as well probably another 400 milliliter jar that's in the fridge. So pretty decent yield off of, I don't know, 30 red jalapenos, 6 cups of sugar, 2 cups of cider vinegar, a bit of garlic, and a bit of thyme. That's literal thyme, not the herbal thyme. Anyways, cool. That worked out really well. I'm excited to see what this is like when it's all cold and gelatinized. Anyways, if you guys got any questions or ideas or suggestions, let me know in the comments. Take care. Thanks, guys.